Welcome to the Monadnock International Film Festival.
Thank you. Into the group of things.
And a coffee.
This is our second. Yeah, I have my coffee. Here we are at the Monadnock International Film Festival, the second annual film festival, and we're broadcasting from Keene, New Hampshire at the Local Look Lounge, which is right next door to the Colonial Theater. Movies going all weekend long. We have a music venue that you can check out the latest musicians. It's a lot of stuff happening, but we're also talking with celebrities and filmmakers about the movies that are made in the industry and how they're made. And right now we're speaking with the director, producer, writer, creator of a movie called Me Plus Her, Joseph Oxford. Welcome.
Thank you.
How are you?
I'm good. I'm happy to be here.
Good. So this movie is an interesting movie. It's would you call it animated, or is it, or would you call it a puppetry movie, or how would you describe it?
In a way, yeah, because it's inanimate objects being manipulated, right? It's puppets. So we did shoot it live action. It's not stop motion, but yeah, like I said, it is inanimate objects being manipulated.
So tell us a little bit about them so that people understand. This movie, it has a material element to it, which is...
It's cardboard. Everything is cardboard. The sets, the puppets, and I tried to use as many kind of materials you could find around the house as possible. Some of it is from hardware stores and whatnot, but it's not really any specialty materials.
So the world in which these cast lives in, these characters, it's completely cardboard. It's like paper, and it's beautifully done. I have to say, it's amazingly shot.
Oh, thank you.
And you know, to look at a perspective of how it's done, I saw a vignette on how you guys put this together, and it's amazing because when you look at it, it just, you feel like you're in a whole other world. But as you pull back the camera and see how you built the sets and stuff, it was pretty elaborate production. Did you have an idea of how much you had bitten off when you decided to do this movie?
No, not at all. I kind of joke that had I known it was going to take this long or be this much work, I never would have started, right?
Right.
So yeah, in that way though, I was also kind of fortunate is that when I wrote it, I wasn't thinking about the practicality of shooting it. So I was kind of able to let my imagination run wild and not worry about like, oh, how are we actually going to do this? So yeah, I mean that came in to it pretty early on when I started building these sets and whatnot. But I don't know. I had already fallen in love with the story, so it was something I really wanted to make.
What made you decide to do a movie about cardboard characters in a cardboard town?
I was rendering something out on my computer, and on my desk there was a scrap of cardboard and a pencil and a rubber band, and I tried to make a little guitar, and it didn't work, but I thought this rubber band kind of looks like lips, so I drew eyes on it, and there was a very crude version, but the first version of one of my puppets, and I just liked it, and I liked the idea, so I started to think about what world would this character inhabit, and what would the rules of that world be, and just went from there.
Your puppets actually had mechanical, like almost robotic parts to them and stuff?
Yeah, they were cable-controlled, kind of animatronic, if you will. Very early on, the first versions of the puppets didn't do anything really. They were very static, and we had shot a camera test in 2010, where even with the lips, we were just kind of pulling them with paper clips and whatnot. And it was a big concern that, you know, to get people emotionally invested, these things need to emote more. So I started building newer versions of the puppets where there was cables controlling their eyebrows, you know, kind of sad or mad, and blinks, and yeah, like I said, with doing the lips with paper clips, it was, we were pulling down for a smile or up for a frown, and it just looked unnatural, you know, with humans, the corners of your mouth move. So it was also figuring that out, how to make that look more natural.
Nice. So from production start to production finish, how long did it take to make this movie?
Well, I started working on it in late 2008. So it was a 5-year process. The first couple of years were pretty passive, and I would take work if I got calls for jobs and whatnot. But really the last year and a half was head down getting this thing finished.
And how did you, looking at some of your sets, you had some pretty large sets, like the inside of a sort of a factory warehouse thing that was made out of cardboard. You had the whole town.
Yeah, the biggest set was 20 feet by 30 feet. Everything is roughly 1/5 scale. So that, I don't know, the houses are, a bit faked, right? As far as if I actually built a 1/5 scale house, it would be huge, right?
Right.
But yeah, so the neighborhood was about 20 feet by 30 feet. We built 7 houses, and then kind of built everything on platforms that could be kind of shifted around for the shots.
And where did you shoot it at?
We shot it in Vernon, California, which is right below downtown. And we were just renting out warehouse space. We didn't have proper kind of sound stages, and that was part of why it took so long. Is budgetarily we couldn't afford a space that is budgetarily a word.
Sure, it is now.
We couldn't afford a space that was big enough to have all these sets set up at once. So we would have to erect a set, shoot it, break it down, build the next set, shoot it.
Wow. So did you have an inspiration from animation? Any, like Wallace and Gromit or anything like that, or it just was one of these things that just evolved out of the rubber band on your desk and a piece of cardboard or something?
I had been working in film production for a while at that point, a couple of years, and
yeah, you've done a couple other movies. One called Paperman, The Vicious Kind. Is that correct?
Yeah, those I worked as a production assistant on.
Celeste and Jesse Forever.
Right, and so The Vicious Kind and Celeste and Jesse Forever were both directed by the same guy, Lee Krieger, and he was kind of the first person I got in contact with when I graduated college, and he immediately started, saying, yeah, sure, come help out on this and this and this. And so Celeste and Jesse are art directed, and I don't want to be, I don't know how to say it, but I think a production assistant is a job that kind of a well-trained dog could do. So I'm not a cocky person, but I thought it was kind of a waste of talent in a way. So I was looking to do my own thing, and I didn't know any actors, so I said, well, I'll just make this stuff, right?
I'll make an actor.
Yeah.
I'll create one out of cardboard.
Yeah.
That's brilliant. And so here it is. You've got the project finished. You're on the circuit. Your film's playing here at the film festival. How's it being received?
Quite well. Yeah. It's the film is something I'm very, very proud of, and I've been saying that people actually like it as a nice cherry on top, right? Of course, it's always the goal is to make something that people respond to, but at the end of the day, the most important thing is that it's something that I can be proud of, right?
It's a beautifully shot film, and it really kind of takes you into this world, this cardboard world. Where are the sets and the puppetry now? Are you keeping them all just in case?
They're all in storage up in Sacramento, where my family is from and where I was raised. And we're kind of hoping that maybe someday we can do some sort of exhibition, right, where you can kind of walk through the sets and watch the film. But so far, just everything's broken down, all flat. Everything basically folds down.
Right. Yeah. Easy to store.
Mm-hmm.
So, is there another puppetry animated movie in your future? Are you?
Not in the immediate future. It's not something I'm ruling out. I do want to take a big step back from cutting cardboard. But yeah, I don't know if the story's right. Sure.
So you're going to be working with humans in the next.
I hope so.
Yeah. Nice. So in terms of the cardboard, where in the world did you get that much cardboard?
In the beginning, a lot of it came from, my mother works at a school, so it was these Cisco styrofoam cup boxes, and she was bringing them home because they were big and they were clean. And it's funny to say, but you can tell after a while, like there's different kind of grades of cardboard. Stuff is either quality or really cheap. Like I don't know, if you got a bed from IKEA, that cardboard is really kind of flimsy and
I was going to say, I'm going to guess cheap on that one, but interesting.
yeah, so a lot of it came just from those boxes, and then when we started building the bigger sets and I needed bigger, cleaner sheets, I got them from Uline, these 5 foot by 5 foot sheets of cardboard.
Nice. What was the amount of people working on the project in terms of a staff when you were shooting it with the puppetry and stuff?
Everyone donated their time, so it was kind of a rotating crew, if you will. Just if they had spare time, they would come by. So we ended up having like 100 crew members, but generally on set we would have between 20 and 26 crew members.
Well, it's an incredible movie, and anybody that is watching this video, I'd urge them to find it somewhere. Hopefully it'll be available to the public or somewhere people can...
Yeah, we're figuring out distribution right now, so.
Great.
But, I mean, yeah, most important in my eyes is getting it in front of people as much as we can. Yeah.
Well, good luck. Enjoy the rest of the festival. Thanks for coming down.
Oh, thank you so much.
And I can't wait to see what your next passionate project will be.
Thank you.
Thanks. Cool. That wasn't that painful, was it?